Hi.
Leandro is the oldest outfield player you've signed since Willian. I know 28 is not that old, but in the context of the last few years and the recruitment policy, that is a bit older than some of the other players.
Yeah.
What's the reasoning behind that, and does this mean the end of that recruitment model?
Very simple, that the squad can absorb right now a player of 22 years old. With the right experience, with the right versatility, with the right quality, and as well with the right price, for sure. And we had no questions about that. It's not that we have to sign 20, 21, 22 years for the next 5 years. That's not the plan. But we need to have a balance, and at the moment we have a really good balance in the squad that can absorb a player of that age.
And he's the 8th player you signed from another Premier League team in 3 years since you took over. I think it was 11 years before that. There was only 8 players from Premier League teams. What's the importance to you, clearly, of buying players from within this league?
Well, it depends a lot on the moment, but clearly when you bring somebody from a club that has experience in this league, which is a really demanding league and has a lot of specific contexts that are required to perform here, especially in this moment in time when you don't have time for preparation, it was something that it was very important for us.
Mikel. You've spoken, and Eddie's spoken since the summer, about how almost character is more important than talent when you're signing players. Just following on from what Mark said, obviously there might be some concern given Leandro kind of went AWOL in the last few days at Brighton. What was it in your conversations that you as a club had with him that convinced you that he has the right character?
Well, because we know the player, and we obviously dig into the experiences and the personality and the relationship that he had at other clubs, and we are very confident that we are signing the right person and the right player.
Mark? Well, if you win on Sunday, I think it takes to 50 points, which will be the quickest the club has ever got to that in their whole history. And that's only the halfway stage. What does that say about basically how you've done over this half? I mean, it's an incredible achievement to go this far.
That we have won a lot of games, but hopefully we can do that on Sunday and we can carry on. But the best way to try to achieve that is to play the way we are playing, or even better, because I think the team can play still much better.
You said last week 90 points. So the way you're going, it could...
I said more, no? I said 93, 95, 100, yeah. I don't know. Let's see. I think it would take a big effort to be up there, but it's still too far to talk about.
Which is about the history of this fixture, because 20 years ago this was the biggest game in the Premier League calendar, and last maybe 10 years it hasn't had quite the same significance. Does it sort of excite you to be playing in a game like this again?
Yeah, but to be fair, every time personally that I play against United, it feels big. It's one of the biggest clubs in the world, and the tradition that has in English football, so it's always very special to play against them.
Nick?
Mikel, I know that as a manager you can't control everything once the players have walked out on the pitch, but it seems to me that you're delivering such a consistency of performance now, not just the results but the performances, that you kind of know what you're going to get from each of those guys every single week. Firstly, do you agree with that, and also how hard is that to do?
Well, that's probably one of the hardest things to deliver, but probably the most important one if you want to be at the top and winning a lot of games, and we have delivered that so far, and we just have to continue to do that, but that's credit to the boys.
Is that the key for a title-winning team, though, to have that consistency ahead of everyone else?
Yes, and we have that consistency as well, because we have consistency as well in the lineups, in the players that have been involved, with the amount of minutes that we have played, with the way we have played. There are a lot of factors, but certainly that's a big one.
We'll go to Mike now. Thank you.
Mikel, you've only dropped 7 points all season. Last season you dropped 9 points in the first 3 games alone. How have you created that environment, especially in home games, to be so consistent and so productive on the pitch?
Well, the environment is created himself, because COVID doesn't exist almost for a few months right now in this country, and that was a big factor in those first 3 games. And then obviously that the team is growing, the team is improving, and we are a better team than last year. That's for sure something that is very relevant to be in the position that we are in.